Hello friends, thanks for joining Kick It 55 Fitness. My name is Kristin. You're joining today for 40 minutes of yoga for athletes. Today we're going to get into those inner thighs, but really I'm going to give you a good all-around stretch, lengthen, tone. Go ahead, grab your mat. If you'd like to work with blocks, grab those as well and we'll get started. And don't forget to subscribe to us and push on notifications so you can see all of our upcoming classes. And now let's get started. Okay, yogis, let's start feeling good. We're going to start in a child's pose. So come on down, bring your big toes to touch, separate your knees, slide those sit bones back over your heels, and then hinge at your hips and walk your hands forward. If you like to bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, that is where we're headed. If you're more comfortable with a block, go ahead and grab one. But this is where we'll start our class today. And think about length from the tip of your tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head. Reach your fingertips long and let your sit bones sink back down over toward those heels. And we'll take a deep breath in here, breathing in, feeling your chest expand. I love that feeling of our rib cage opening up. You feel all those little muscles getting a nice stretch. And exhale out. Just softly let it go. On the next inhale, really think about the expansion through all sides of your rib cage, the sides, the front, the back, and exhale out. And now walk your hands over toward the left side of the room, bringing your right hand on top of the left, being mindful to keep your hip bones and your shoulders nice and squared. And let's breathe in here. Take a deep breath in, feeling a nice deeper stretch through the right side body. And exhale out. And then walk your hands toward the right side of the room, bringing that left palm on top of the right. Again, both your sit bones are equally over your heels, nice and anchored. Shoulders are nice and squared. And we'll breathe in here. Feel that nice stretch through the left side. And exhale out. Nice. Let's come back to center. One more nice deep breath here. And exhale out. On the next breath in, let's roll ourselves forward as we curl our toes under and lift up into our first downward facing dog. So send those hips up toward that back corner of the room and then gently let your heels fall toward the earth. A bend in your knees is fine, whatever works for you here. What I'd like you to think about is the length from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail, that length through your spinal column, through your arms. So straighten your arms, slide those shoulder blades back and down, hollow out through the armpits, and extend through the side bodies. And now draw your belly button in as if it wants to kiss your low back, and send those hips up. Relax your chest toward your thighs and just pedal out through your heels. Relax your face, maybe shake your head yes and no. Being mindful to press through all of your fingertips and through your palms, pushing down and away. Nice. Let's take a deep breath in here as we settle our heels down. Breathe in. And exhale out. One more deep breath in here. And exhale out. On our next breath in, let's rise up onto our tippy toes, bend our knees, look just toward the top of our hands. That's where we're going. And exhale, tippy toe your feet right behind your wrist creases and meet me in a ragdoll. So bring your head down, hinging at the hips. Again, a bend in the knees is fine, but I really want you to press into the ball mounds of your feet to bring your weight forward. Relax your head down. Feel that heavy weight of your head, your shoulders pulling you forward, helping you open the back side of your legs. And maybe you grab for opposite elbows here. Just a little side to side sway. Nice. And now drop the hands. Let's shimmy our feet together, lifting those hips a little bit higher as we fold a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins or to your thighs. I like my thighs. Gives me a chance to slide the shoulder blades back a little more to open through the collarbones. Think about the crown of your head shining forward. Breathe in here. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the belly in, flatten through the back, long through the crown and tail pulling in different directions. Exhale, forward fold down. This time, breathe in, bend your knees and rise one vertebrae at a time. The last thing up is your head, and then follow with your arms. Your pinkies are forward, Urdhva Hastasana, that upward salute. Your shoulders are relaxed, your tail is down. Breathe in here. And exhale, baby back bend. Goalpost the arms. Use your glutes to support your low back. Inhale as you rise again through those fingertips. And exhale, hands through heart center. And now let's take a forward fold, hinging at the hips, a little micro bend in those knees, or however much you need. You come back down. Breathe in, plant your palms, and now send your feet to the back of your mat, to the wide edges, toes out, heels in. And now walk your hands back. And when you arrive at the back of your mat, inhale here, and on the exhale, bend your knees and drop your tail, coming into a yogi squat or malasana. This is so good for the low back. Bring your elbows inside of your thighs, press your palms together, and open up here. Now, I have my heels flat on the ground. If this is not something in your range of motion, maybe you want to tuck a towel underneath, or whatever works for your body. It's your yoga. But the idea here is to press inward to get that stretch through the inner thighs, lifting through your torso and lowering through your tail. So we're here in our malasana squat, inhaling, lifting through the crown of our head. And on the exhale, draw your hands in front of you and round through the back, reaching, keeping the malasana through your legs. Your tail is down, but just stretching through the backside. Inhale, bring your palms together, pressing those elbows inside of your thighs. Exhale, reach and round. One more time. Inhale through malasana, prayer hands, crown of the head straight up. Exhale, bring your hands down. This time lean forward and walk it forward, meeting me in a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath in, rise up onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, and on the exhale, let's travel to the top of the mat and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, root and rise. Arms come up overhead, that upward salute. Reach. Exhale, baby back bend. Goalpost the arms. Feel your shoulder blades slide back and your collarbones open up. Inhale, rise through the fingers. Exhale, forward fold down. Breathe in, plant the palms, step those feet back to the wide edges, toes out, heels in. Walk your hands back. Breathe in as you press your palms into the mat. And on the exhale, bend the knees. Meet me in that yoga squat. One more time. Yogi squat right here, malasana. Inhale here. Exhale, reach the arms forward as you round the back. Inhale with your hands in prayer. Exhale, reach the arms forward. Inhale one more time through that malasana squat. I love malasana. And exhale, walk your hands forward, find that downward facing dog. Let's go one more time and we'll layer on from here. Breathe in, rise up onto your toes in your down dog, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow over. Inhale, bend your knees, rise, fingertips high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, rise again. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. This time, exhale, step your feet back and meet in a high plank. And take a moment to find that high plank here. Your heels are stacked over your toes. There's that slight dome across your shoulders. Your tummy is so toned, using your core like crazy, and then fire up those quads. You'll really feel it in your thighs. Holding here, breathe in. Hinge forward just a beat, and on the exhale, bring your arms to 90 degrees and then all the way down. Untuck your toes and let's find a cobra. So bring your palms by your low ribs, keep your elbows in, press your feet into the ground, engage the quads. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, lower down. Hands back by your shoulders, curl your toes under, breathe in through high plank, and find your down dog. Beautiful. Inhale, meet me in a tabletop. So come down to all fours, stacking those hips right over your knees, drawing the belly in, shoulders right over your wrists. And let's do a couple of cat-cows here. So inhale for cow, sinking your belly, lifting through your tailbone, through the crown of your head. Sliding the shoulder blades back to open through the collarbones, and exhale, push into the mat as you round your back and find your cat. Drop your tail, drop your head. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Let's take a few more at your own pace, adding in any other movements that you find work for you. Maybe it's a side-to-side sway. And then we come back into our stable tabletop. And right here, press into your left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Follow it with your gaze. And on the exhale, thread the needle. So slide that right hand underneath the left and then come on down to your right cheek. Your palm is upward. And with your left hand, maybe you want to draw it forward, or maybe you want to take it behind you, or even bind it into your right hip crease. Whatever works here, but take a moment and breathe in, sending that breath to the mid and upper back. Exhale out. On the next inhale, left hand comes right by your nose. Breathe in, and that right arm comes high. Follow it with your gaze again. And then meet me back in that tabletop. Let's thread the needle on the other side. So right hand presses down. Inhale, lift through the left arm. Follow it with your gaze. Exhale, thread the needle. Left cheek comes down. The top of your hand is down. The palm is facing up. I'm opening up through the shoulder, so my right hand is coming up and behind and tucking into my left hip. Options here. So your yoga, do what feels right for you. Breathe in. Exhale out. And then bring your hand right back under your nose. Inhale, send that left arm high. And exhale, meet me back in that tabletop. Nice. Now, let's take our right leg and send it long behind us at hips height. When you do this, I want you to keep a flex in that right foot and think about the pinky toe being down. That inner thigh is swirling upwards to keep the right rotation through your leg and to keep your hips nice and square. Here we are, anchor down with your left shin and then send your left arm long. Breathe in here, and on the exhale, bring your left elbow and right knee together. Inhale for the length. Exhale for the crunch, and we'll do a couple of these bird dog crunches here. Inhale, find that length, keep those hips nice and squared. Use that right glute like crazy. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale one more time for the length. Exhale one more time for the crunch. Beautiful. Now inhale, send that right leg long one more time, but bring the left hand down. So your right leg is long, hips height. Curl the left toes under, strengthen through the belly, and on the next breath in, rise into three-legged dog, kicking that right leg up. Nice. Be mindful to try and keep your hips nice and squared, your shoulders squared, and then bend your knee and find a couple of hip circles here, opening up toward the right side of the room, pretending that your knee is like a marker and you're drawing a couple circles one way and a couple circles another way. And then come back to that three-legged dog and come back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale here and exhale out, coming back down into your table. And we'll set up for those bird dogs on the other side. So send your left leg long at hips height. Foot is flexed. Pinky toe is down. Hips are nice and squared. Right arm comes long. Keeping your neck in line with your spine. The crown of your head is shining long. Inhale here for length. Exhale for the crunch. Inhale for the length. Exhaling for the crunch. Really mind to muscle. Inhale for length. Thinking about that left glute. Exhale for the crunch. Inhale for length. Exhale for the crunch. One more time. Inhale for the length. Now keep the leg. Drop the right hand. Curl the right toes under. Engage through the abs. Inhale and rise into three-legged dog. Left leg is high. Breathe in and open up those hips toward the left side of the room. Bend the knee and then find what you need on this side. A couple of circles one way, a couple of circles another way, whatever feels right. And then come back to that three-legged dog with those hips nice and squared. Breathe in here. Exhale, meet me in downward facing dog. Let's take 2 rounds of breath here. Breathe in. Let's rise up onto our toes. And exhale, let your heels come down toward the earth. On the next breath in, rise onto your toes, but bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, forward fold. We're going to move on here. Inhale, halfway lift, extending the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Breathing in, chair pose. Drop your hips as you lift through your torso. Maybe you find a little bit of room through your feet if you'd like to distance them or keep them together, up to you. But put the weight of your body into your heels, okay? Your hips are down, up, nice and proud through your chest. Biceps are by your ears. Breathe in here. And on the exhale, keep the chair, but bring your hands to heart center. Weight still in the heels. Hang in here. Breathe in as you tuck forward. Exhale, chair twist toward the right. So that left elbow comes outside of the right thigh. And really press palms together, working to keep those hips nice and squared. If you can, maybe find a little twist and lift here so that maybe you look up toward the ceiling. Breathe in through chair pose one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift and send the right leg back. Inhale and find a low lunge. Keep your hands on the ground and push so that you can lift through your chest and find that nice extension through the hip. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the left leg, maybe even flex that left foot. Beautiful hamstring stretch right here. Let's do that again. Inhale through that low lunge. Exhale, send those hips back, straighten the left leg. Inhale, crescent lunge. This time let's rise through our torso, finding that high lunge. Our fingertips come high overhead. Heel is stacked right over the ankle. Hips are nice and squared. Breathing in here. Exhale, warrior two. Spin the right foot and open up. And being your first warrior two, maybe you take a minute here and kind of move in and out of it a little bit, making sure that knee is tracking midway over the toes. Hips are nice and squared over, or shoulders over your hips. Pushing in the outer edge of your back foot, holding here for strength, breathing in, exhaling out. On the next breath in, reverse your warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. So reaching forward, and then that right arm comes up and over, scooping your low left ribs upwards, your tailbone pulling straight back. And then inhale, pivot, and bring both hands inside of that left foot and square those hips off again, bringing your right heel back into alignment, and find a lizard lunge here. So scooch that left foot toward the outer edge of your mat. Maybe you even come down onto your forearms, and take a minute here to get into those inner thighs. We're going to do a little hip mobility work here. But first we just find the stretch and hold. Breathing in and out of it. If you want to bring that right knee down, that's fine. Whatever works for you here. It's a nice place for blocks. If you've been down on your forearms, come back onto your palms. And I talked about a little hip mobility work here. So you're here in your lizard lunge. What I'd like you to do is inhale, and on the exhale, shoot that right foot forward, coming into a squat. And then bring the hands down and send the left leg back and find that lizard lunge on the other side. Take a minute here to stretch into it. And then we're going to alternate from side to side. So come back to your palms, inhale, exhale, come into your squat. Inhale, send the right leg back. Exhale, squat. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, squat. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, squat. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, squat. And last time here, inhale, send that right leg back, meeting in that lizard lunge. Take a breath in here and start to straighten. And let's walk our hands toward the center of the mat, pivoting our toes to face forward, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And let's take a minute here, hinge at the hips. Find some release. Bring the weight into the ball mounds of your feet. Maybe let's bring our hands and weave them behind our back. Reach them up toward the sky and then forward, getting into those shoulders. Nice. And then come and bring your hands back down to the ground. Inhale, pressing into the ground, come to a halfway lift and pivot and walk your hands to the back of the mat. Following, bringing your right foot to face the back and your left foot on a 45-degree angle, keeping straight through the legs, a little micro bend. We find ourselves in a pyramid pose. Squaring off through the hips, walking our hands back, taking a moment here for the stretch. And if your hands were reaching behind you, bring them forward. Inhale, bend that front right leg now. And on the exhale, bring the left foot to meet at the back of the mat for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now we're going to go through this whole thing back the other way. Inhale through chair pose. Sink the hips, rise through the fingertips. Find your weight in your heels. Tone through the belly, proud through the chest. Inhale for the reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe in as you talk forward, and exhale, chair twist, this time to the left. So that right bicep outside of the left thigh, and then use those palms to find your twist. Inhale, back through chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and send that left leg back and find that low lunge. Really extend, feel that extension through that left hip, nice. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the right leg, flex the foot. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the low lunge. Exhale, extend the hips back, straighten the leg. Inhale, find our way to crescent lunge, rising through the torso, squaring the hips off. Find your strength. That front leg is at a nice 90-degree bend. Breathe in here. Fingertips are high. Exhale, warrior two. Spin that left back foot down. Hold. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle on this side. Scoop that right lower rib cage inward and up, spiraling your chest upward toward the sky, sending your tailbone back toward your back foot. And then breathe in and find that lizard lunge on this side. So scooch that right foot toward the right side of the mat. Take your left foot and pivot it back forward and find your lizard lunge. Is it down on your forearms? Is it with a block? But take a moment here. And then we'll do that hip mobility work on this side. So if you're on your forearms, come back to your palms. Inhale here and exhale, come into that squat. Inhale, send the right leg back. Exhale, squat. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, squat. So it's lunge, squat, lunge, squat. Alternating lunges with a squat in between, just some hip mobility drills. And let's take one more. And we want to end with that left leg back, right leg forward in our lizard lunge. Inhale, and let's pivot back to that wide-legged forward fold so our feet come to the long side of the mat. And I'll give you 2 breaths here to do what you would like. Maybe you want to go for that shoulder stretch again, weaving your fingers together. Or maybe you take your left hand to your outer right ankle and find a little twist. And then the opposite side. Take one more nice breath here. And exhale it out. And then draw your palms down. Inhale, halfway lift in this wide-legged fold and walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Pivoting your feet, your left foot is forward, your right foot is on a 45-degree angle, and then square off your hips, finding that pyramid pose, that nice stretch here. And maybe you walk your hands back. If your hands were behind you, walk them forward. Inhale, find a bend in your left knee. Press into your palms. Exhale, meet at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root and rise. Let's rise all the way. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, baby back bend. Flush everything out. Inhale, lift through the fingers again, and let's take a vinyasa. Exhale, forward fold down. Breathe in, plant the palms, and step or hop back, high to low plank. Inhale through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to run through that flow again, but without the hip mobility drill and more of a vinyasa style, more of a flow. So pretty much what you saw before, just losing some of that extra work in the middle. So inhale here, lift up onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, travel and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, resetting the spine. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, chair pose. Sink those hips. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Stay low. Inhale, start to talk forward, and exhale, chair twist to the right. Find the extension of your twist, maybe a little deeper this time. Breathe in through chair, reach those arms up high. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, send the right leg back and rise for crescent lunge. Strongest one yet. Fingertips reach for the ceiling, square the hips. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, and a beat here if you want to add anything. Maybe a shoulder bind is in your practice here. Go ahead and take it. And then inhale, pivot forward through that lizard lunge just for a beat. And then travel into wide-legged forward fold. Pivot your feet to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk your hands to the back. Find your pyramid. And exhale, fold into it. Inhale, bend through the front knee. Exhale, meet at the back of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's rock it back. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. Keep your chair. Inhale, hinge forward and twist. Exhale out. Inhale through chair, fingertips come high. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, left leg goes back, crescent lunge. Nice and strong. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. If you took a bind on the other side, then go ahead and even it out on this side. You want your shoulders to be nice and even. And then exhale, lizard lunge. Pivot that back foot forward. Just a beat here. Through the exhale, let's travel to the long end of the mat for that wide leg forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, travel back to the top of the mat, finding your pyramid. And exhale, fold into your pyramid. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's flush that out. Inhale, root and rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take your vinyasa. Maybe it's a cobra, an up dog, whatever works for you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale, letting your practice settle in. On the next breath in, lift your right leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, half pigeon pose. So bring that right knee toward the right wrist crease and then set up for your pigeon. And come on down. Extending that left leg long behind you. Squaring your hips. Press into the ground to extend yourself upwards. And then on the exhale, walk your hands forward and find your sleeping pigeon. We'll take just a couple of beats here to get into those outer hips. Focus on the breath.
If you find that your left hip is rolling open, make sure to square it. You want that left inner thigh spinning up toward the ceiling, your left pinky toe downward, that left leg nice and long. Let's take 2 more breaths here, making sure your face is relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed. One more breath here. On the next breath, bring your hands by your shoulders, lift your body up, curl your back, left toe under. Inhale, rise through your right leg, 3-legged dog, and then meet me in a down dog. And let's go to the other side. So lifting that left leg high. And exhale, find your pigeon with your left leg forward. Making sure that your right leg is nice and extended long behind you. The top of the foot is nice and flat. Press into your palms as you lift proud through your chest. Breathe in. And on the exhale, walk your hands forward and find that sleeping pigeon. Focusing on your inhalations and your exhalations being the same length. Focusing on being aware of where your body needs a little extra release and sending your breath there. We'll take a few more breaths, yogis, and just mindfully be aware that your face is relaxed, your arms, your shoulders. On your next breath in, yogis, bring your hands to your shoulders and rise again through your torso. And then curl your back, right toes. Inhale, lift that left leg high, 3-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, and on the exhale, come all the way down. And let's just come down onto our bums. And find yourself in the middle of the mat. And we'll take it here and just lower yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And when you get down to the bottom, draw your knees into each armpit. Gather your shins in your arms. Find that deep flexion. Your knees are pressed in right up into the armpits. Full wind relieving pose, and maybe you just take a rock from side to side. And when you're ready, kick the soles of your feet toward the ceiling. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your feet and find your happy baby. And then whatever goes in happy baby. So maybe it's a rock side to side, a little kick of each leg out. But your happy baby and your final moments to take any poses that feel right for you at this stage in our yoga for athletes. Couple more moments to get out the fidgets. Maybe you bring the soles of your feet together, separating your knees. And then making your final way to your Savasana. Being just as mindful in your Savasana as you were in your other poses. Lay your arms and legs long, your palms up. If you're looking for receiving energy, you can always put your palms down. You could have your One hand on your heart and one on your belly, whatever feels right, but make sure that your shoulder blades are slid underneath you, nice and flat. Take a deep, deep breath in and a gentle exhale as you settle in for your Savasana. And I'll give us a few moments here of quiet.
Well, that is all we have time for today. This again has been 40 minutes of yoga for athletes. My name is Kristin. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon or at one of my cardio sculpt and yoga flow classes. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Also, subscribe, push on notifications so you can see our upcoming classes. Thanks, and we'll see you on your mat.
Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on push notifications so you know when our next workout posts.